Take me somewhere to warmer weather, to something better than here right now. 'Cause the days get longer, the nights grow colder, a lonely shoulder when you're not around.
This is Mulligans, where life gets messy, love gets complicated, and second chances just might save the day. Let's begin. Chapter 21. Nathan paused in the doorway to the kitchen and watched as Stacy, Tyler, and Bertie sat at the dinner table laughing and poring over a crossword in the newspaper. "Honestly, at this rate, we'll never get to eat breakfast," Tyler complained, leaning back in his chair with a groan. Bertie shot a reprimanding look at her brother. "We can't eat until it's finished." "Bertie, I have no idea. Just because I go to college doesn't make me smart." Stacy looked up to see Nathan standing in the doorway. "Your father will probably know. Should we ask him?" she suggested, seeing an opportunity to escape and bring in breakfast. Nathan gave a practiced smile as he walked in and sat at the table with his family. "Ask him what?" "Dad, what's a 10-letter word for bond?" Bertie asked, flashing the crossword in his direction. Nathan considered as he stirred cream into his coffee. Investment? Stacy returned with hot plates of pancakes, sausage, and eggs Benedict as Bertie tried the word in the empty boxes, her pencil dancing over the paper. Investment doesn't work." "Where's Chase? We're going to be late for work," Tyler said, grabbing a sausage from the stack and taking a bite. "Tyler, use a plate, please," Stacy said, trying to hand him one, but he waved it off, making a pancake and sausage sandwich and heading out the door. "What are you doing today, Daddy?" Bertie asked, momentarily setting aside the crossword to fill her plate. "I'm going to do some paperwork and then play a round of that game we're not allowed to mention." The lapse in focus didn't last long as Bertie again turned to the newspaper. "I still need a 10-letter word for bond." Nathan reflected for a second and then replied, "Try commitment." "I've changed the rule," Stacy interrupted, finally sitting down to her own food. C-O-M. Is there one M or two M's? Bertie asked, looking up at her father. "What's this?" Nathan asked Stacy before turning to Bertie. There are two M's, kiddo." I-T-M-E-N-T, Bertie said aloud as she filled in the letters. "It works. You got it, Daddy." Stacy smiled at her daughter as she cut into her eggs Benedict. "I've changed the rule. We can all talk about golf as much as we want." "Golf, golf, golf, balls, balls, balls," Bertie sang as she turned her attention to the next crossword clue. "I've been thinking, maybe it would be good for you to spend some time with Chase," Stacy suggested. "He's going through some..." Bertie looked up suddenly and announced, "He's gay." Nathan nodded thanks to Bertie for the information. "I know. Tyler told me." "Did you talk to him about it?" Stacy asked between bites. "I mean, while we were away?" Nathan pushed his food across the plate mindlessly. "A little." "Well, I just think he could use all of our support right now," Stacy advised. Nathan took a long sip of his coffee. "Okay, yeah, I'll talk to him." Bertie looked back down to her crossword and contentedly sang, "Golf, golf, golf, balls, balls, balls." The weed whacker whirred as Chase worked his way around the sand trap directly behind the sixth hole. He was glad for the distraction. Between the buzzing of the gas-powered lawn groomer and the music pumping through his iPod, he was almost able to drown out his own thoughts. He jumped when one of his earbuds was pulled out of his ear. "Hey," he said, spinning around, thankfully keeping enough sense to keep the weed whacker engaged as a killing weapon on the ground and not to his surprise assailant. Nathan stood smiling with his golf bag slung over his shoulder, looking like a perfect model for an Arnold Palmer catalog. "Where's Tyler?" Chase pulled out his other earbud and turned off the weed whacker. "Working on the back nine." "We need to talk." Nathan gave a flirty shrug and smiled, which would have played better on a high school junior than a 40-year-old. "We're talking right now." Chase could tell this was going to be more difficult than he hoped. You know what I mean. Without another word, he turned and led Nathan into the thick trees behind the 6th hole and the 7th tee-off box. Stacy lifted the picnic basket onto the bench between Bertie and herself. She set out a red plaid square and covered it with apple slices, 2 tarts, and juice boxes. The golf cart was parked a few feet away, and she waved another twosome through as they approached the tee-off box. Go ahead, we're just taking a little break. Stacy inhaled deeply and looked around at the lush green of the golf course. It is relaxing out here. You're not a very good golfer, Mom, Bertie observed, sticking the plastic straw in her juice box. Well, we're learning together, aren't we? Bertie grabbed an apple slice and chewed it over along with a question that was forming in her young mind. Didn't Daddy ever ask you to come play? No. Sometimes, even when one man and one woman are married to each other, they need some time apart, Stacy reflected. That's what golf does for your father. Well, and his car and the office. I have my scrapping and I love to cook. She was surprised to hear how unconvincing the words sounded, even to her. It wasn't that she was proud of lying to her children, but she counted it as part of the multifaceted and ever-changing landscape of child-rearing. It was simply a mandatory component in protecting them. At any rate, Bertie was right. She wasn't a very good golfer, and she wasn't sure if it was more attributable to the lack of coordination or an unfocused mind. Her conversation with Chase this morning had instigated a flood of embarrassing recollections of unsavory comments she had made over the years about homosexuals. Not necessarily directly to them, well, at least she hoped not. But then again, she had evidently put her foot squarely in her mouth at the barbecue with Chase and not even realized it. How many other times had she let her mouth run without considering the residual damage she may be leaving in her wake? After all, she'd just done it again, she realized, by classifying marriage between a man and a woman with her daughter. Evidently, she had some subconscious concerns to work out, and she decided to make a concerted effort to do so when she heard a commotion in the bushes behind them. Stacy turned and saw 2 figures walking through the trees. As they came closer, she saw it was Nathan and Chase. Stacy set down her juice box and stood to call out to the men when she saw Nathan pin Chase against a tree and kiss him. Slowly, she turned back to Bertie and then abruptly began to pack up the picnic basket. "Mom, what are you doing?" Bertie complained, clearly convinced her mother was indeed crazy. Stacy picked up the picnic basket and covered Bertie's eyes with her other hand, leading her along to the golf cart. "It's a game. You're going to keep your eyes closed, and I'll drive. When I stop, you can guess what hole we're on." "But we're on 7. I want to play 7 next." Stacy escorted Bertie into the passenger seat and quickly turned the keys in the ignition. "You've already called me a bad golfer today. I'm your mother. I won't also have you talking back." Bertie craned her neck past her mother. "What were those men doing in the bushes?" Stacy pressed the pedal to the floor and willed the golf cart to travel faster than its max speed of 20 kilometers per hour. "Probably looking for a lost ball." Nathan backed Chase up against an ancient cedar tree and leaned in for a kiss. It was all Chase could do to keep from returning it, but his mind was made up and he was on a mission. "Nathan, we can't do this." "Of course we can," he said, running his hand up into Chase's hair and cradling his head. "I can't stop thinking about you." Chase placed a hand on Nathan's chest and gently edged him away, looking around intently to suggest the possibility of getting caught. "I think we need to just cool it. We can't just—" The rumble of a greens tractor interrupted Chase, and they looked up to see Tyler sweeping the 6th green on a John Deere. Chase snuck past Nathan without another word. Their conversation would have to wait. Chase walked up to the green where Tyler had climbed off the tractor and was cutting around the hole with his pocket knife. Tyler cleaned the blade on his jeans and then looked up in surprise. "Dude, where have you been? I feel like I'm working by myself," he said, taking a chunk of grass and chucking it at Chase. "Been clearing brush," he said evasively. "You want to stop by the driving range after work today? I could still use a few pointers, coach." "Can't. Bree is bringing a picnic. She's been planning it all day." "Why'd you bring me out here?" To play board games with your parents? Chase interrupted, surprised at his own explosion. Tyler stood and wiped his hands on his pants. You're joking, right? I didn't come so I could watch you go out every night with her, Chase said, angry with himself, but Tyler was the closest target. Well, what did you come for? Sounds like you're a little jealous. Tyler, come on, it's not like that. Tyler just laughed. No, it is like that. I don't even know who you are anymore. You come here, announce that you're gay, and expect everything will be the same. It's not. Tyler turned and jumped on the John Deere tractor, leaving Chase in his dust.
And that's a wrap on this chapter of Mulligans. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and that it got you thinking about the complex relationships we all navigate, the ones that challenge us, change us, and ultimately shape who we become. If this chapter spoke to you, or if you're reflecting on the big questions of love, family, or second chances, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below or hit me up on social. Whether you're pondering Tyler's journey, Chase's emerging sexuality, Nathan's dilemma, or Stacy's challenges, or just want to share your own thoughts, I'm here for it all. Don't forget, if you're craving more, you can grab your very own copy of Mulligans. The paperback, ebook, and audiobook are available with links in the show notes. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button so you won't miss the next chapter. Trust me, things are about to get even more interesting, and I can't wait to share it with you. Until next time, remember, second chances are just around the corner, and love can always find a way, no matter how messy it gets. Keep dreaming big and loving boldly. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you in the next chapter of Mulligans.
Take me somewhere to warmer weather, to something better than here right now. 'Cause the days get longer, the nights grow colder, and lonely shoulder when you're not around. Tell me, do you want me right now? I don't wanna wait to find out. I need you to love me lights out tonight.